Individuality versus conformity. Being yourself versus pretending. Are you being real or are you fitting in? That's what I'm going to look at in this video, where we look at the pros and cons of being an individual versus not being an individual. Here's my question for you. What do you, me, David Bowie, and Smokey Robinson have in common? In this video, I will explain all of that. I will also share the following. Questions to ask yourself honestly about your individuality, words you might identify with, or words you might want to move away from. And finally, some individuality examples from David Bowie, Smokey Robinson, and myself. All to help you see for yourself how much you express your individuality in your life right now. And all because in a recent video about life purpose, I said that being myself could well be my life purpose. I think it was called Sing My Song. I said it mattered to me that I express my individuality no matter the cost. And so this video is kind of a response to that. What do I mean by individuality? What do I mean by not being an individual? As an aside note, people have commented on my individuality. I think it might be my individuality a lot. Sometimes they've commented positively. They've asked, who are you? As if I was famous. Are you in a band? Are you a comedian? Sometimes they have not commented positively. And some of the words that I will go over in a moment, you'll see. Being yourself, being an individual, is a little bit like being honest. And being honest, I don't know if you've ever tried it, is not a great way of getting things. It's not a great way to control outcomes. That's why politicians, right now anyway, don't specialise in being honest. Because honesty doesn't work. And maybe being yourself and being an individual, maybe that doesn't work. But we'll look at that in this video. So, you ready? Questions, words, examples. All right? 3 things. So, let's see how we go. Questions. How individual are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, say. I think I'm a 9. I think most people are a 6. Some people are incredibly wacky or eccentric. Or visually, they look very different. It's not always a visual thing. There are 10s. I'm going to give myself a 9. How individual are you? Does it matter how individual you are? How do you not conform to societal norms? Fashion is another example. The things that you buy, keeping up with the Joneses, washing your car every week, every month, mowing the lawn all the time just so it looks as good as everybody else's. There's lots of societal norms, lots. How do you not conform to societal norms? I don't mow my lawn. It's a bit messy. My neighbour, I'm sure, wishes I did mow my lawn, but I'm not really that bothered. I did used to mow it, but now I don't, because why am I mowing my lawn? Because society says you should. And I decided, I don't want to mow my lawn. So I've got a scraggy, wild lawn. That's one example. I choose my own clothes. I wear jeans, blue jeans, but often I wear clothes that suit me rather than what's fashionable. How do you conform to societal norms? So for my example, I wear blue jeans, I drive, my battery's low on this phone, let's hope it lasts. I drive on the left side of the road, which is the side of the road that everybody drives on in this country. I guess if I didn't drive that side of the road, it would cause some problems. I'm polite. I'm a polite British person. Lots of people aren't. They say what they say how they feel. I'm polite. Do you like an easy life or a challenge? Do you like life to be a challenge? Because blending in makes things easy, especially in the workplace, saying the right thing, having the right conversations, tut-tutting at the right time. Individuality, I don't think it's valued in an organisation. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. Being an individual is a harder route. That's my experience. Do you have friends that you don't like? Do you do things you don't enjoy? Do you say things you don't agree with? All of those are signs that you're not an individual, that you're doing the group thing, that you're being political, that you're doing the right thing to achieve something. Can you do things on your own, or do you have to do things with other people all the time? How good are you on your own? Excuse me. Are you a fraud? Are you a great pretender? Do you pretend? Do you pretend that life is going well? Do you pretend that you're always happy? Do you pretend that your relationship is great? Are you a great pretender? Or are you honest about how things are going, even if that doesn't make you look good? That's what individuality looks like to me, anyway. We'll come back to the great pretender, Smokey Robinson, near the end of the video. We're on to the word section now. Is any of this stirring anything up for you? Individuality, blending in. Individuality, the same as everybody else. Words. This is a word I added after I created this list. Every man, or every woman. Every man. Complicated. Complicated could be what an individual looks like. Every man, oh yeah, they feel like me. They're like me. Stand out. Fit in. Compromise. That's what I would call not being an individual. Integrity. That's what I would call being an individual. Being yourself, despite the requirements of your situation or the group that you're in. Generic. Original. Fake. Phony. Real. Authentic. Normal. Typical. Bland. Weird. Quirky. Odd. Some of these words have been used about me. Follow. Lead. Present. Pretend. Allow. Guarded. Political. Honest. Open. Does my bum look big in this? There's an honest way of answering that question and a political, guarded, right way of answering this question. Do you follow fashion? Or do you have your own individual style? Or do you have no style at all and it looks bad? Final words. United, divided. United is the all, the many. Divided is the individual. So this is a negative about individuality. The group sometimes is more important than the individual. I do acknowledge that. United, divided. Right, on to the examples. David Bowie, Smokey Robinson, me. David Bowie, one of my teenage idols. He was an original. A very quirky, original, unique human being and very, very talented. Had odd coloured eyes. Used to wear dresses in the 60s. unique individual. But when he lived in America, he had his teeth done. He had his teeth done. Now that, in my opinion, is a sign of non-individuality. Making your teeth look like they're meant to look. Some people in the States have got beautiful teeth, but most people have faked their teeth. Yeah, maybe Americans say, we don't want teeth like the British. Yeah, maybe. But still, I call that a lack of individuality. Smokey Robinson, he did a song called The Tears of a Clown, which I used to like. The tears of a clown when there's no one around. Great singing. The tears of a clown when there's no one around. Only in the last few years have I saw or listened to those words in a different way. This person is pretending to be happy, pretending to be at one with the world, at one with everybody that he's with. He's pretending to be having fun. He's pretending to be happy. He's pretending to be having fun. This person is pretending, and then when no one is around, they're crying. I call this fakeness, and not helpful to everybody else. When people pretend to be happy, everyone else looks and thinks, oh look, they're happy, why am I not happy? They're happy, why am I not happy? But they're not happy. They're pretending. And you don't know they're pretending. That's kind of the problem with Instagram and Facebook. You're looking at their best and comparing it to your worst. But I think we all ought to stop pretending. We don't have to wallow in how horrible things are, but we could just stop pretending, and we'll take the pressure off ourselves and we'll take the pressure off other people. So I'm not a fan of Smokey Robinson and his Tears of a Clown. And I say to him, Smokey, if he was still around, stop doing that. Stop doing that, please. There's no need for Tears of a Clown. Just be real. Me. So, I've got a quirky style in clothes. It's fairly bland, generic, but it's not if you pay attention, in my opinion. I know what colours work, I know what suits me, I know what to avoid. I generally don't buy fashionable clothes. Every now and then I get caught up in groupthink and I buy things without realising I'm buying them, but mostly I don't do that. I wear my own clothes, I have my own look. And it's not like David Bowie's look when he was a teenager or when he was in his 20s, but it's still mine. I have my own thoughts. Sometimes I regurgitate, like lots of people, but generally I try not to do that. I try to think my own thoughts, have my own questions, just think about things in my own way rather than the way of everybody else. Sometimes I come to the same conclusion, sometimes I don't. I really value that. I value just looking at things with my perspective rather than somebody else's. And I really value it when other people do that. I really value that in an individual. I value people having their own style of clothes. I value how individuality shows up with all of us. And we are all individuals. We are all individuals. Just a lot of us do our best to hide that, which is a shame. As I said, I wear blue jeans, I drive on the left. Some conformity is required just to function, and I guess that's the point. We all have a different line about what just to function means. I've never kept up with the Joneses. I've never washed my car every week. I've never kept a lovely lawn and made sure my lawn looked better than my neighbour's. I've never bought things so that I've got more things than my neighbour or my friend. That's never appealed to me, thankfully. So I'm not materialistic. But people do that. They buy stuff that they don't want. It's crazy. Just so that they've got it, or they go on holiday to places they don't like just because other people have. Somehow we have all got brains. We have all got our own thoughts, and we just kind of do what other people do, say what other people say, think what other people think. If the Labour Party in the UK have a position on something and I'm a Labour supporter, then I have the same position, even if I don't. Same with the Conservative Party, same with the Republicans, same with the Democrats. It's crazy that you can't say something because you belong to a group. That's what I think is damaging. Groups are great, but when they control how you think and what you say, this is dangerous, in my humble opinion. But that's not why I value individuality. I just think we're individuals. Why not be an individual? Share it with us. Share. I do my best to share my individuality. It's natural to me. There's no effort to it. I just love it when people show up as themselves, admit that they don't know things, admit that they've got talents, admit that they have weaknesses. It's just great. Being an individual is a wonderful thing, in my humble opinion, hence this video, which we're nearing the end of. As David Bowie once sang on his Ziggy Stardust album, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being an individual, and there is value in thinking and acting for others, or like others do. But I think expressing your individuality, or expressing your individuality more, is necessary. Unless you like shedding tears of a clown when there's no one around. I think being an individual is something that we all have a responsibility for. Be an individual, share our individuality, be an example to others so that they can do the same thing. We're all going to be like others. We are like others as well. We're all going to be like others just to make life easier, but we can do it less. Do it less. How can you be an individual today? I'd love to know in the comments, I really would. So, in closing, how much of an individual are you? Do you like standing out or fitting in? Are you a follower or a leader? Are you honest or not so honest? How much would you like to express your individuality? More or less? Do let me know in the comments, and I'm going to link to 2 videos. Here's a video about about life purpose, which I call Sing My Song, and here's a video about self-awareness. I hope one or both will help. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.